I met Jermaine in 2001. We were both in college. He was in his graduate program and I was in my undergraduate program. We dated for 3 years and got married in 2005. Jermaine was diagnosed summer 2013. We had planned a family vacation to Busch Gardens and he could not go. And it was beyond me as to why he couldn't go. He complained about pain and I didn't know if it was him avoiding the trip, avoiding us. So I kind of said to him, well, then you need to go to the doctor on Monday. And he did, and they found a 16 centimeter tumor. He had surgery 2 weeks later and the tumor was diagnosed as cancerous. He was terminal. He stated that it was a terminal diagnosis from the start. Prognosis was poor, and with treatment, Jermaine would live 3 to 5 years, and without treatment, 6 months. So he told us to figure out what we wanted to do. I was confused. I was angry. Why him? You know, a man who is a family-oriented person, a good person, comparing to other men who maybe don't take care of their children and things of that nature. So very questionable as to why me, because it affected me and my children. And I'm a survivor of many things, so it was like, dag, one more thing, like really, why God, why me, why us? Once we broke the news to family, and church family, then it's like I had everyone on board agreeing that God was going to perform this miraculous miracle for Jermaine, and it was going to stun doctors. And actually the result of it for me was what I was praying for, is that my husband would surrender his life to God due to his miracle. God started to show me that I didn't make it this far without him. I used to always say, I did this. I put myself through school. I'm doing this. We moved out here. We had no family friends out here. We did this. This was the life we built for each other, for ourselves, for our children. And he started to show me that it wasn't just me. Never that I didn't have a relationship with God, I didn't trust God, or he wasn't in my life. I guess I kind of didn't give him all the credit as to where I was, what I accomplished, my family, and so forth. And he started to show me without him, I wasn't going to make it, or I didn't make it this far without him. So I kind of started to put God in the forefront in my marriage, in my relationship, through the crisis with my children, with those around me. And it was almost like I was in a spotlight. I knew people were watching us. I even felt at times that people were laughing at me. And I said, God, you just have to be in this, because I'm confused. I don't know what to do. There's nothing I can do. I was fighting with him, my husband. I was fighting with the doctors. I was fighting with people around me because I was helpless. I felt helpless. And I just had to give it to God and say, you know what? I don't know what else to do but to trust you. And I started to quote back his word to him, the promises that he promised me, that he would never leave me, he would never forsake me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that's what kept my head above the cloud of pressing forth and so forth. The healing process for me includes grief, because grief has no expiration date. But I measured my healing by what God has restored for me. And I asked him for this, to restore all that I've lost. The treatment for the most part was, if you factor in everything, till now, it was almost 4 years that my life, my family's life was turned upside down. I felt out of control, angry, and I asked God to restore everything that I lost to me. And seeing the evidence of that today, 2 years after his death, I can only thank God for what he has done in my life. I feel at peace. I feel comforted. A sense of security was gone from me immediately after he passed. I felt alone. It was only weeks after he passed where, everyone else got back to their lives, and it was me and the boys who had to figure out what our new normal was. Even though I felt alone, it's evidence that I wasn't alone, because he was showing me that he had me and he was keeping me and he was going to help me. And that's what I said to him. I said, well, the miracle didn't happen the way I envisioned it to happen, but it did happen. A miracle did happen. My husband surrendered his life to Christ, and I know he's at peace. And that's the peace I prayed. I said, God, I need that peace to live on. I have to live. I am here. I have 2 children to care for. And I don't know what you have in store for me for my future, but I started to claim that my future is bright. I have a future in Christ. So healing for me was me having that hope, a new faith, and a new life that I have to live. And God will get the glory out of my life. And that's my testimony. That's the miracle in it, that he would be glorified out of my life. Knowing that I have a great future ahead of me, because God is in that, and he promised me new life, new hope, and that keeps me going, keeps me excited. I long to see what he has in store for me and for my children. So I can smile at that, I can laugh at that, even with the coping measures that I have been using to write, to sing, to travel, being a parent and accepting being a single parent, don't know for how long, but parenting my children, enjoying parenting my children, and they keep me laughing, and I have to. I didn't have a choice in moving forward. I had 2 kids that relied on me, so it wasn't just my future, it was ensuring that with the help of God that I give them the best future as well.